Welcome back to the coverage of YCS Utrecht 2020. Joined with me today is Jonas Koschel, one of the most consistent players in recent years, a Worlds competitor in his own right, and currently you are also part of the ongoing Worlds race as of this year.
Yeah, I'm trying my best again.
How's it feel going for this race a second time round? Is it sort of like the same thing? Is there still that kind of like adrenaline and like always like kind of the nerves before every like regional?
I think it's just, I'm not really try-harding for Worlds, but because I'm living in Germany, that's a good thing for Worlds race. And if you're doing well at the events like YCSs and stuff, you can just kind of compete even without like really try-harding and going to regionals outside of my country. And it's still weird and like different than like any other thing because now they changed from top 8 to top 16, so it doesn't feel that hard like the year before, but still you have to do very well, and I'm trying my best.
Yeah, so you always have to keep that consistency up. When it comes to like this world race, you mentioned that like there's the less pressure because it's like top 16 and stuff. I feel like when you first started this season out, you kind of ended up in the race by accident. You know, you got like two tops in a row at Ghent and London, and then you kind of just like, well, I'm here now, I might as well like keep going, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like that because when you're living in Germany, especially in my area, I'm just going to all the regionals anyway because it's fun and it's like 1 hour away. So I'm playing regionals a lot anyway, and then, if you're doing well at the YCS, as I said, you can just do the race and try your best. And it's maybe not as hard as last year, but still, I think you have to really try hard because especially now that people realize it's not as hard as before, more people try compete, and then
Yeah, it's kind of like that paradox where it's like that it's opened it up a little bit more to 16 players rather than 8, but by proxy that means everyone's going to be trying to get in on it. In terms of like the deck choices and archetypes that you've been playing, I know you've had a lot of success recently at the regional level because we haven't had a major event yet with the new Forbidden Limited list. You actually won a regional like just the past weekend. Tell us a little bit about that.
I played a regional like 2 weeks ago, I think, and I played the new Shaddoll structure deck thing and with Invoked, and that deck is pretty cool. I really loved the Forbidden and Limited list we had because I really didn't like Striker and Orcrist and all that together. So and I just wanted to see something fresh and new, and I never played Shaddoll in my life before. So there was just a new deck for me, and I love playing new stuff and trying out new stuff in general.
Yeah, it's a huge refresher. You have like, if you haven't in your position played Shaddoll back in the dinosaur years for me, 2014. Now you've got a chance to like try something that's like completely new. Like fusion summoning is generally not really a huge part of the meta over the last 3 years. Although you personally did really well with Thunder Dragon, so
that's not really fusion summoning most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's the contact fusion thing. But anyway, the next like big hitter, I would say, this format is definitely like Spyro. At least like it started out, and then like this new structure deck came out. Have you looked at Spyro at all, or what's your views on how it's shaping up in the meta? Like, how do you view that deck to where you're standing today?
Spyro is a pretty good combo deck, but I personally don't like combo decks at all. I'm more of like, I want to grind and have multiple turns, and I'm not a fan of like huge combos. That's why I tried out the deck, of course, but it didn't fit my playstyle, I think. And maybe if I'm playing something else than like everyone else, and just because Spyro is such a big deck, everyone is prepared, and maybe for like other decks, either people don't know what the cards actually do, or they are just not prepared, and maybe that helps me.
That's a good point you highlighted. Like, there's the huge, like, big explosive break my board style of Spyro, vis-a-vis like the Shaddoll sort of invoke strategy where you're kind of like, grinding with your opponent, interacting a lot more.
I mean, you're summoning, most of the time you're summoning a big floodgate monster, so you're locking your opponent out. But like, I mean, Shaddoll is probably not the best example of a control-ish deck, but in general I prefer that type of deck over like Spiral with big combos and stuff.
Yeah. So those are kind of like the two main hitters right now. You've kind of been known for playing a little bit of Salamangreat and stuff, and Salamangreat is still kind of around. You know, you've got like that coder engine. It's decently consistent. Lady Debug's back at 3. Have you looked at that deck at all, and what's your thoughts on that?
That's actually what I played at, like I think 3 weeks ago, and I mean losing Mirrors, the Stelio is a big hit. Also, like one Gazelle, one Circle, that hurt the consistency a lot, and I don't know exactly if that's the best deck for sure, but like I'm pretty sure people can do well with Salamangreat, and I'm pretty sure people can do with like any deck at the moment. There's so many different decks you can play, and all of them are good. And I just played the 3v3 and I lost to Heroes, so yeah, that's a good deck as well, I guess.
Heroes is something that is...
Darklaw a good card.
Yeah, Darklaw, Macrocosmos on legs, big boy. So yeah, we're gonna end it here for you guys. We'll be back with more coverage soon. Thanks a lot to Jonas joining me for this interview, and all the best for the World Race. So thanks guys, be back soon.